To maximise performance, embrace social psychology. Student at Roskilde University in Copenhagen undertook a two-part study looking at littering. In the first part, they handed out lollies in wrappers in the streets of Copenhagen and then counted the number of wrappers that were on the ground afterwards. In the second part, they preceded the lolly distribution by placing green footprints on the ground leading up to the rubbish bin. Then they handed out the lollies and found a 48% decrease in litter afterwards. In other words, simple green footprints on the ground cause people to visit the bin more often rather than just dropping the paper on the ground. Over time, a social norm developed, which in turn increased further the proportion of people who walked over to the bins and deposited the wrappers in them. I define marketing as managing human behaviour with the purpose of achieving social and/or commercial objectives. The merits of this definition are reflected in the Copenhagen study. Human beings are inclined to respond to well-calibrated psychological triggers, like in this case green feet on the ground directing them to a bin, and to social norms, also called the social norm bias. These studies highlight the fact that marketing is, or should be, considered a branch of social psychology, whilst marketing managers really need a background in psychology. Cost-effective marketing almost always involves understanding what drives consumer behaviour and leveraging behaviour management tools like a simple nudge to influence consumer behaviour. In 2008, researchers found that the rate of bath towel recycling in hotels increased significantly when patrons were simply told that other patrons reuse the bath towels. An environmental message led to a 35% reusage rate, whilst a message that said that 75% of other patrons reused their towels led to a 44.5% reuse rate. This highlights the power of social norms and the capacity to manage consumer behaviour by understanding and leveraging how they think. Insights? Firstly, marketing is all about consumer behaviour. Secondly, psychological triggers can be very effective in influencing consumer behaviour. Thirdly, social norms can be very effective in influencing consumer behaviour. Recommendations? Firstly, view marketing as being all about the management of consumer behaviour. Secondly, embrace social psychology and the power of psychological triggers, including nudges. And thirdly, embrace social psychology and evidence suggesting that nothing impacts consumer behaviour more than social norms. To find out more, visit www.djohncarlsonesq.com. It's www.djohncarlsonesq.com, or email me, johnc@djohncarlsonesq.com. That's johnc@djohncarlsonesq.com. I'm John Carlson. Thanks for listening.